Okay, the software here lets me record only for an hour. That's good to know. I actually have only one more point, which is not huge, but I'd like to record it in order to give you full service. The last point we talked about was ions and ECG. The last point is overbalancing. Um, do you know that game that you have, let's say, a cookie and you take a bite from one side and then you try to balance it from the other side, and now it's not balanced from the other side? You take another bite from the first side, and so on and so forth, and before you know it, the cookie is gone. Um, yes, I actually brought an example from cookies, which are high calories. Um, the idea is that sometimes when a system is trying to correct a mistake making, either due to hypo or hyper something, right? It sometimes overbalances or overreacts. And then you go from hypo to hyper and from hyper to hypo, which could have nonetheless dangerous implications. So that is part of pathophys as well. I won't say that it happens a lot naturally, but it might happen due to imbalanced, inaccurate, or unprofessional treatment. So when you are treating someone, even if they are hyper, since most of the ionic balances, since hemostasis is usually based on very narrow uh, uh, um, balances, um, I think that we always have to have in our minds the understanding that treatment might be very accurate and very delicate. Examples, we're in the clinic 3 times a week in the mornings, right? And we check glucose and if needed ketones, water balance. Um, so all those are gonna can affect insulin. People that take insulin, people that take um, ACE inhibitors, people that are on diuretics. Sounds familiar? If you look at the cases of at the files of our patients, you'll find all those words and all those diseases and processes. Diabetes mellitus. There's other kinds of diabetes which are mentioned in the presentation. Um, those are examples of imbalance, and we have to balance them the best that we can in order to allow them to exercise. Especially since exercise within itself is imbalance. And don't mistake in steady state, which is a periodical or momentarily balanced state, to the idea that exercise is imbalance relatively to rest. Um, so we deal with that, and it might have implications in the clinical aspect in our clinic, and thus when you give treatment, you have to respect the rations that you give. You have to respect the dosage and the doses that are indicated in guidelines, in order to not overbalance or overtreat and create a different problem or worsen the problem that exists. That's about it. You are welcome to communicate any questions that you have, and I hope this helped. I'll just say once again, you do not have to look at this video, but I think it might make things simpler and help a few of you. Have a great weekend. See you around. Goodbye.